Hi everyone, I'm Julie Ray and I'm the assistive technology person for the Duluth Public Schools, and I also work for Region 3 of the state of Minnesota. I'm here today with Allison Hoffbauer, who you'll see in just a minute, and we just wanted to do this video to let you know where we're at with our AT team project. We're in year 2 of a multi-year project, and also just to let you know where we're headed. So first we figured we'd start out with a review of year 1. This was last year. So we joined the AT Teams project through the Minnesota Department of Education, both to lend some structure to our project and to gain some expertise in the area of active implementation to help with the using data to support our practices in assistive technology. What this project did was gave us the opportunity to improve student outcomes through systems work, and then we chose a pilot site at Stowe Elementary School. We chose this site because of the type of classrooms that they had and the size of the school, the type of students in those classrooms, and also we had one member from our district implementation team, Catherine Hatfield, at that school also. Our why: we wanted to have increased AT consideration and use, with the goal of increasing student performance. Also, with better documentation, the hope was that this would provide smoother transitions between buildings and case managers for students. We use the Quality Indicators for Assistive Technology, or the QUIET, to rate our program and how we're using assistive technology across the district. One element where we saw room for growth was in Matrix 1, which talks about AT consideration. And number 7 in that matrix is the AT consideration process is documented in the IEP, and then also includes a rationale for that decision and supporting evidence. So in January, we took baseline data at Stowe Elementary and looked within IEPs and found that 46% of those IEPs at Stowe, we looked at every IEP, included that rationale for the documented AT consideration decision in the IEP. So we then set the goal to increase that from 46% to 60% by May of 2020. We developed new drop-downs in SPED forms that help to support the writing of that documentation within the IEP. We then went out to Stowe and did a training with the people there at Stowe and allowed them to do some specialized practice in using those drop-downs and documenting that rationale in the IEP. When we went back and collected data in May, we found that the goal had been met. The number of IEPs was now up to 60%, where they had that documented rationale for AT usage in the IEP. But when we looked again at just the IEPs that had been done between the time that we did the training and the time that we collected that data in May, we found that 92% were now including that rationale for that documented AT decision, which is a huge jump and a huge celebration. So when we looked at the QUIET and how we score those, our January data totals would have put us at about a 2, 2.5, maybe in between a 2 and a 3. The May data totals, again, based on that work that the Stowe staff did, would have moved us up to a 3. And then when we actually looked at those new IEPs, the ones that had been done since the training, it was actually a 5, which is the highest score that we can get on the QUIET within that element. So as if that data wasn't a celebration enough, we were also asked when we presented this information at the MDE AT Teams group, we were asked by Joan Breslin Larson, who's a consultant leading that group, and Kirsten Doubles, who is the Minnesota Department of Education Assistive Technology Coordinator. We were asked to be a part of their presentation that now is part of the Closing the Gap presentations about building high quality, sustainable AT leadership and practices in AT. So if any of you are interested in seeing that, let me know. I'll send you the link to that long presentation. And now I'll turn it over to Allison to talk about what's coming up next.
Thank you, Julie. I'm Allison Hoffbauer, speech language pathologist, serving Laura MacArthur Elementary School, and also a member of the AT team. This year, we're excited to announce that we're expanding our year one content to 3 new schools, Lakewood, Homecroft, and Laura MacArthur Elementary School. These 3 schools are going to receive a revised training after receiving feedback from our year one school, Stowe, last year, as well as some new components that will focus on sustainability with our assistive technology teams throughout the district, so that the skills and resources that you learn about this year can be carried on for many years to come as you serve students in special education. Year 2 is going to be Stowe as they begin their second year. We're excited for them. They're going to continue to using drop-down menus and SPED forms to document their rationale and continue their success rate of documenting that on every IEP. And then we're also choosing a new focus area for year 2. That is this piece on the quiet, which is considering assistive technologies, devices, and services for all students with disabilities, regardless of the type or severity of the disability. We picked this area after reviewing our data from last year and many collaborative conversations with members throughout the district on our AT team and participants from Stowe in year 1. We're excited to provide training and opportunity for our staff to grow and learn about the opportunities our students have to succeed in school using assistive technology. Stay tuned. We're excited to offer more presentations in the upcoming year and to help support you as you continue to learn and increase your skills with assistive technology to help our students engage and succeed. Thank you.